was to box Daniel Dubois, I would box that motherfucker's ears off. He wouldn't land the glove on me if he one-sided beatdown.
As the heavyweight division inches toward its next seismic shift on 19th July between Usyk and Dubois, jumping in, Tyson Fury has added fuel to the fire with a chilling message aimed squarely at Daniel Dubois. Meanwhile, Dubois is not stepping back.
Yeah, he's gonna talk some shit. He's gonna come back. So, you know, all of that, it's all good for the fight. But I need to show them that if he's gonna come back, he's gonna have to face me.
Dubois preparing for a career-defining rematch against Oleksandr Usyk. Fury has chosen this moment to issue a brutal warning. The Gypsy King, known for his verbal warfare as much as his unorthodox brilliance inside the ring, didn't mince words.
But listen, I wish him luck in his fight against Usyk. Both styles make fights, you know what I mean? And his style and my style don't gel. I would absolutely annihilate him.
Tyson Fury, never one to sit quietly on the sidelines, offered a pointed piece of advice to Dubois. Speaking in his usual blunt and unpredictable tone, Fury urged Dubois to go for the kill, specifically referencing the controversial body shot that dropped Usyk in their first fight.
Knock him out, because I wouldn't say that because it's in England and, you know, it's on his own show, so just do the best you can, that's it. Best you can. Did you watch? It hurt him before, a body shot put him down heavily, so maybe he can land that same body shot.
But in the chaos, we must remember that this fight is just talk and hasn't gotten any attention from anyone yet. Frank Warren did not hide the fact that he was not comfortable with the idea of matching Daniel Dubois with Tyson Fury despite the two being under the same promotional platform.
I think that's great that they would do that for him. You know, he's been a great servant for boxing. He's been a brilliant champion and been in some of he's been in the biggest fights of the 21st century. Great heavyweight fights, massive heavyweight fights, entertaining heavyweight fights. You know, he's Tyson Fury. I mean, a couple of decisions were quite, you know, for me, were quite debatable.
In Warren's opinion, it would put him in an uncomfortable situation where he would have to decide between two best heavyweights whom he contributed to. Although he admitted it would be a big money fight and one the fans would be interested in, Warren said he did not feel right about making that happen. His attention is paid to channeling the career of an individual fighter without necessarily letting an internal conflict occur, except in extreme cases.
I don't really want to see it happen, but, you know, let's see what happens. I mean, listen, Tyson's got a lot on his plate at the moment. He's got his Netflix series Home of the Furies 2. He's got his documentary on Netflix, so he's busy at the moment.
Recently, Tyson Fury has stated that he is returning to the ring in April 2026. He is making the feature of Wembley Stadium in London. His main goal behind his comeback is a third fight with Oleksandr Usyk after two close decision defeats in Saudi Arabia.
Just in the gym, happened to bump into somebody you might know. We back.
Got it. You know what time it is.
You know what's coming.
Tyson Fury also mentioned in a recent interview that he has continued to get massive attention with his name even when he was out of the ring. He likened himself to a mythic warrior, and it was wholly evident that he was being missed by the fans, promoters, and even his critics. To Fury, that was the fanaticism that made him realize just how invaluable he was to the sport.
It just shows you how relevant I am in the game and how hungry they are for Achilles to come back. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy. I've won everything I've had to do. Listen, my last fight was a clear victory for the Gypsy King. Anyone in boxing can see that. A complete load of dog shit, yeah? Political, whatever you want to call it, and everything did an interview, just left the ring. As soon as that thing was announced, I was like, what the f is going on here?
Although feeling frustrated, Fury clarified that he opted to take the decision as a professional. He said that the reaction of other people in the arena to the announcement of the verdict was so shocked, implying that both fans and fighters were astonished by the judgment. Nevertheless, instead of reflecting on it, he decided to be arrogant and plain in his speech when it comes to what he believes is his opinion towards the sport and his status in it.
But I accept it, I'm a man, I don't make excuses. On with the next thing. Got paid, got laid, got out of there, happy days. Went home to my family, and now I'm happy.
Fury also revealed that he feels that the judges treated him unfairly in the past, which is also one of the factors that motivated him to seek a fair rematch in his own backyard. Saudi entertainment chief Turki Al-Sheikh announced his comeback plan and said Fury had agreed to a return as part of next year's Riyadh season.
He's 38 years old. You know, if I was going to come back, I'd come back for Usyk. But I want a fair result in England.
Would he be the only fighter that you come back for?
That would be the one I want immediately. That would be the most fight that I'd want next.
The focal point of his comeback path is a trilogy fight with Usyk, whom he lost to 2 times in 2 extremely challenging, beguiling battles. Fury has not restricted his flames towards the Ukrainian southpaw though. He has also gone up perpendicularly at Dubois, who is undeserving of the limelight, and shot at Joshua, alluding to what he likes to call the biggest British fight that never occurred yet.
Who would I rather fight right now? Usyk. Because I want me revenge in England. That's all I want. I want a fair shout. And I don't believe I've got a fair shout the last 2 times. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do, because I can't leave it go to the decision. I'm going to have to knock it out. But yeah, that's the one I want. But if I don't get that, then it'd be Joshua, the biggest British fight that will ever happen. And it would break all records, and it would sell out 100,000 at Wembley in an hour. And it's a fight that I think can happen for sure if I decide to come back and the deal's right and all the other that goes with it.
The notion of a Tyson Fury Oleksandr Usyk trilogy has been flatly rejected by Eddie Hearn, who has referred to the talks as pointless. He noted that Usyk's team is refusing to budge, while Fury's team is requesting an abnormally large portion of the money, insisting on a majority split, particularly if the fight is held in England. Hearn implied that Fury is the only one making things more difficult by pointing out that Anthony Joshua faced Usyk twice without any problems over purse splits. He called Fury's actions greedy and told him to stop playing fans by making unrealistic demands. He also warned that Fury's reputation is suffering and that he won't get far if he keeps stalling.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tyson's always going to want to grab the headlines, isn't he? So I think there's definitely, I guess, a part of Tyson Fury that wants to run it back with Usyk. He thinks in his mind he won those first 2 fights. You know, I don't, but they were close fights. And, you know, every fighter wants to try and avenge a defeat. I don't think anyone's really interested in that fight. And you know, obviously the fight that I want, and I think the whole country wants, is the AJ fight.
Hearn also underlined that Fury's demands appear irrational given Joshua's readiness and spotless negotiating record. He brought attention to Fury's inconsistency by reminding the public that Joshua faced Usyk head-on. According to Hearn, Fury must put legacy ahead of power and convenience if he is serious about getting the trilogy.
But we're kind of done with, you know, commenting, debating, goading, like whatever. Fury, one thing we learned about Fury is he's going to do what he wants to do. So we're going to do what we want to do. Hopefully the stars align in 2026. I spoke to His Excellency last night about the plan. AJ's next fight probably will be announced fairly soon. Will we fight Tyson Fury next year? Hopefully. You know, we shall see. I'm not sure about the April 18th, where that date's come from, but that's Tyson Fury.
Oleksandr Usyk faces a formidable obstacle before any discussion of a trilogy with Tyson Fury can begin. His entire attention is on his impending rematch with Daniel Dubois, which will require all of his strength. Usyk is aware that failing to consider Dubois could cost him his titles and jeopardize his hopes of facing Fury a 3rd time. He is focusing all of his attention, discipline, and energy on getting ready for Dubois because of this. Handling the power and hunger Dubois brings is the goal of every training session and strategy. For Usyk, winning this battle first is the most important thing at the moment. Tyson Fury's future is currently being discussed, and Gareth A. Davies confirmed that there have been discussions about a possible 3-fight deal. He clarified that a 3rd fight against Oleksandr Usyk might be part of such a plan after a tune-up fight. According to Davies, the trilogy is still feasible, even though Fury has already lost twice to Usyk.
There have been talks about a 3-fight deal, a warm-up fight, a fight with Oleksandr Usyk, and people go, what, he's lost to him twice, but that is a doable fight. Oleksandr Usyk has to fight Daniel Dubois first on July the 19th at Wembley, that we're really looking forward to.
In a behind-the-scenes update on Tyson Fury's return, Gareth A. Davies stated that although talks are taking place and there is obvious progress, no formal contract has yet been signed. He underlined that there are currently no final agreements in place and that all the specifics are still being worked out. According to reports, Fury and his team are being evasive, even making lighthearted jabs at the press and supporters, such as bringing up other fighters like Derek Chisora. He said, "Fury's back in the game. game. I don't think the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted yet. That's my understanding this morning from speaking to them. Nothing's signed yet, they're teasing. Davis noticed a change in Fury's demeanor and level of energy, indicating that the former champion is once again enthusiastic about boxing. Davies claims that this shift in tone portends a significant comeback. Davies noted that Fury frequently uses this type of teasing in his promotional activities, particularly when he is preparing a major event. He added, "There's a lot of teasing going on right now, but I think my feeling being around Tyson this morning is that there's a fire lit under him again." Oleksandr Usyk is now totally focused on his current task, which is to defend his titles against Daniel Dubois. Usyk isn't letting the rumors of a possible third bout with Tyson Fury deter him. He is aware that Dubois poses a threat, particularly in light of their contentious initial encounter, and that ignoring him could cause everything to fall apart. The Ukrainian champion has shown that he was calm in the middle of the turmoil. The camp of Usyk has not yet taken the bait on the theatrics of Fury. His camp has been saying multiple times that they are entirely focused on Dubois. Usyk has worked in the laser focus mode in terms of training because he knows that Dubois is no longer the inexperienced challenger that he previously embarrassed. The defeat here would not only break the hopes of Usyk having a historic third undisputed reign, but it would scuttle any plans of realizing a trilogy between him and Fury with huge tags attached. At this stage, Usyk is 38, which means that there is not much space to make mistakes. Despite the importance of the match, Daniel Dubois displayed calm confidence prior to his rematch with Oleksandr Usyk.
You know what? I'm not overly stressed about anything at the moment. Still got time to train, focus, spar, and do the demolition jobs. It'll all come together. I'll just put it all together on the night. You know, I can see the Wembley arches from up there. But yeah, it's all good. Gonna just recreate the whole thing again.
He stated unequivocally that his training camp is proceeding as planned and that he is committed to improving all facets of his game, from strategy to sparring. For Dubois, it all comes down to maintaining composure, having faith in the process, and producing results when they count.
I still think that whole experience made me strong, you know? Broke you, and then you have to rebuild yourself again. And sometimes when you do that, you come back strong, and that's what I think happened to me.
Speaking about Daniel Dubois' recent development as a fighter, Tony Bellew noted that Dubois has moved into a new stage of his career where he is well aware of the demands made of him and what it takes to be successful at the highest level. Bellew commended Dubois for demonstrating his ability to overcome hardship in the ring, which had previously sparked doubts about his fortitude. He claimed Daniel Dubois is now coming to a different stage in his career where he's understanding now of what needs to be done and what's at stake. I think he's shown that he can overcome difficult times in fights now, and I think the victory over Anthony Joshua is going to propel his confidence levels to an all-time high. In his prediction for the forthcoming rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois, Tony Bellew acknowledged Dubois as a formidable opponent but ultimately chose to support the champion. He predicted that Dubois would go into the bout with a lot of momentum and confidence, particularly following his victory over Anthony Joshua, but Bellew thinks that confidence will start to wane as the fight progresses and Usyk starts making clean shots.
So I think he's well in this fight. I think he's a super dangerous challenger, and he'll go into it with a lot of belief, but I believe that belief will get shrunk as the rounds pass and as the shots start getting landed on him. The questions will be asked of him again. Oleksandr Usyk will be victorious.
Tony Bellew went on to commend Oleksandr Usyk, describing him as a unique talent that the sport sorely needs. He called Usyk a boxing genius, someone who was more technically and mentally proficient than anyone else in the division. Bellew was certain that Daniel Dubois would not put an end to Usyk's dominating run, even though he acknowledged that all great fighters eventually experience decline.
This guy's an anomaly, he's a freak, he's the genius that boxing needs. This guy is, I can't put it into words how good he is at what he does, Jim, but ultimately all good things have to come to an end eventually, yes, but I just don't think Daniel Dubois is the man to bring it to an end.
So you go Usyk again?
I'm going Usyk again, and I think by late stoppage, if not points.
Stoppage?
I think he can stop him. Yeah, I just think he figures it out. It's what his mindset and the frequency he's on is a different level to everybody else.
Daniel Dubois is young and powerful. He is just 27, yet he has injected discipline and composure to his weapons. His win against Joshua demonstrated not just that he could finish, but he had learned to be more defensive and gain a better understanding of the ring. The sequel with Usyk is going to be the real deal. Can he do the intelligent thing and not trip into the Usyk traps as he did in the first encounter? He talked about Usyk and said that the mindset of Usyk has changed this time. He is an all-new person and is behaving weirdly.
Taking off that pedestal, he's a proud man and everything, but there comes a time, everyone gets a time, and like he's, I don't know, is he big-headed now? Is he getting it on top, getting above himself now?
Before the Usyk rematch, Oliver Spencer shared his thoughts on Daniel Dubois' development, pointing out that he has made significant progress both mentally and physically. He underlined that the heavyweight fighter now has a strong sense of self-worth, which is crucial in the top tier. Spencer claims Dubois and his squad have thoroughly examined their opening encounter with Oleksandr Usyk, comprehending exactly where things went wrong and where the Ukrainian was able to gain the upper hand.
You know, his career performances in recent times, and you see the improvements there. That's not just the physicalities that have improved, but the mental state of mind as well. And he truly believes in himself. You know, he knows where he went wrong against Oleksandr Usyk last time. He knows where the fight was won and lost.
Spencer revealed that Dubois' squad has created a shrewd, well-thought-out strategy designed to take advantage of Usyk's vulnerabilities. He thinks fans can anticipate a fierce, competitive battle if Dubois can stick to the plan they've developed. Dubois is in a very strong mental space, clear-headed, focused, and more confident than ever before. Spencer continued. He added, "They're going to correct that. They've got a great game plan going into this one. The strategy is perfect. If they can execute that, we're in for a serious fight for sure." But yeah, he's mentally in a really strong place. Daniel Dubois reflected on his first fight with Oleksandr Usyk by describing it as a valuable learning moment rather than a defeat that broke him. He explained that both the training camp leading up to the bout and the experience during the fight taught him important lessons. Instead of dwelling on the controversy or the loss itself, Dubois chose to use that moment as motivation to grow.
I just look at it like an experience for me, you know, just the training camp beforehand and everything that went down in the fight. It's just an experience for me, learning from it, and you know, you guys seen what I've done since then, so I feel like I've rebuilt myself to be even stronger than I was.
Daniel Dubois went on to talk firmly about his identity as a fighter, revealing that he has had the warrior spirit since he was a young boy. He attributed his early development to his father, who began training him when he was 7 years old. According to Dubois, this strong foundation has produced a fighter who rises to the challenge rather than crumbles under duress. He told, "I'm a warrior at heart. I'm a warrior through and through. My dad raised me, trained me from the age of about 7. So, you know, it's in me. I've got the goods, and we've just been proving, like, make a statement with this one." Daniel Dubois acknowledged that he didn't present his best self during his first encounter with Oleksandr Usyk. Although he admitted that he didn't perform to his full potential, he made it apparent that the rematch would be entirely different. Speaking with newfound vigor and conviction, Dubois stated that his goal is to win and change the course of history, rather than merely improve his performance. He called the bout the biggest boxing event of the day, with the entire world watching.
It wasn't the best version of myself. Whatever it wasn't the best version of Daniel Dubois and what Daniel Dubois brings to the sport. I can't, you know, this time around it's gonna be totally different. I'm gonna win for a start, and you know, we're gonna just change history. It's gonna be, all eyes are gonna be on this. This is the biggest fight in the world, and I'm so, you know, confident, and so happy. I can't, you know, I'm living my dad's dream of, you know, me being a world champion right now, and I'm on fire. I can't be denied right now.
The stage is set for one of the most exciting heavyweight rematches in recent memory as July 19th approaches. Daniel Dubois emerges as the resurrected warrior, blazing with conviction and purpose, while Oleksandr Usyk stands as the master technician, composed and calm. This is more than just a battle. It's a collision of history and heart, with pride, legacy, and redemption at stake. Will Dubois surprise everyone and change the course? Or will Usyk's genius triumph once again? This is the battle that could change everything, so leave your predictions in the comments, hit the like button if you're feeling heated, and remember to subscribe.